coming to the presentation. So we'll be calling the first speaker. The first speaker will be Father Dr. Reji Mathew. Father Dr. Reji Mathew is from Tiruvalla, Kerala, and belongs to Syrian Orthodox Church. He's a distinguished scholar and teacher of New Testament and early Judaism. Father Reji Mathew completed his doctoral studies and has extensive experience in theological education and leadership. He has held several prestigious positions, including Principal of Orthodox Theological Seminary, Kottayam, and Principal of St. Thomas Orthodox Seminary in Nagpur, Maharashtra. Father Mathew has contributed significantly to ecumenical relations as the former General Secretary of Kerala Council of Churches. His academic expertise combined with administrative leadership has made him a respected figure in theological education and church administration. Now we invite Father Dr. Reji Mathew to today's event to speak on the topic Documenting India, the first systematic language records. Over to you, Father Reji Mathew.
Good evening and thanks to Dr. Rene Ralte, the moderator of the conference. And I am grateful to the leaders of the conference because this is the very first time I am involved in the Yeshu Bhakti Divas. I am grateful to Dr. Mathew Varghese, one of my best friends in the ecumenical field, and Mr. Ralph Menon and Mr. John. And it is a glorious opportunity for all of us to know each other and to identify the heritage that we received from the missionaries in terms of the language development, translation, etc. So my theme is contribution to documenting India first systematic language records. So I am presenting this from my limited knowledge. There may be experts in this field who are attending this Zoom conference. As it was said in the title video, India has 121 languages and 270 mother tongues, most linguistically diverse countries in the world. Official languages, according to the Constitution of India, 22 scheduled languages, and some of the regional languages were later on included as classical languages, including Malayalam. Before the arrival of European scholars in the 16th century, most linguistic diversity, oral form, limited systematic documentation, etc., are known to you. The introduction of the printing press in different parts of this country, pioneered by the missionaries, that was a path-breaking event in the history of modern India. And the missionaries, they laid the foundation for modern linguistic studies, enabling the standardization of languages, creating grammar and dictionary books, and preserving endangered dialects. Please, as per the information that I received from Google, in India at present we have 550 million speakers of Hindi language, 98 Bengali speakers, 94 Telugu speakers, 83 million Marathi speakers, 77 million Tamil speakers, 70 million Urdu speakers, 65 million Gujarati speakers, 59 million Kannada speakers, 45 million Odia speakers, and 38 million Malayalam speakers. So these are the major languages, and from this data, we can understand how diverse is the language and culture of our people. India has a rich oral tradition, and it had a crucial role in preserving the linguistic heritage. The epics like Mahabharata and Ramayana passed down orally for centuries before being written down. Similarly, regional folklore, songs, stories were preserved through memory and performance. The earliest written records in India were inscriptions on stone and metal, primarily used for royal decrees, religious edicts, and commemorative purposes. The Ashokan edicts of 3rd century BCE written in Brahmi and Kharoshi scripts are among the oldest surviving examples of written language in India. Indian scholars have made a tremendous contribution to the study of languages. Panini's Ashtadhyayi of 4th century BCE is one of the earliest and most sophisticated works on in Sanskrit grammar. Tolkappiyam, a Tamil grammatical text, laid the foundation for the study of Tamil language and literature too. Next, the arrival of the European missionaries that paved the way for scientific and systematic study of regional languages. And since 16th century, it was the turning point. They adopted scientific approach to language documentation, and they created grammar books, dictionaries, phonetic records, etc., etc. The main motivations for them was the need for communicating with the local population so that the message of the kingdom of God will be transmitted to them. B, the interest to translate the Bible and other Christian documents into Indian languages. C, the vision of educational and administrative implications. Among the first to document Indian languages were Portuguese, Dutch, and later British missionaries. The success of their works depended heavily on their collaboration with Indian scholars known as Munshis and Pandits. Next slide, please. Their major contributions, as some of them were mentioned earlier, the development of grammars and dictionaries, phonetic studies and orthographic standardization, preservation of endangered languages, influence on modern linguistics, and the educational impact as such. Without the European missionaries, we cannot imagine about the literacy development of this vast country. Even today, there are millions of people who are illiterate. That's a shame to a country like India, which is having a leading role in the world today. So we can be grateful to the missionaries because in places where the missionaries worked, the literacy percentage is much higher than other places. I take Kerala, for example. There are places in Kerala where the literacy is 100%. So we should remember the contribution, the hard work, and the commitment of the missionaries. Next, please. The key contributors, as many of us know, William Carey and the Serambo mission in Bengal, in a place called Sri Rambu. The English people, they call it Serambu. Bartholomew Siegenbalg of Tranquebar, the German missionary, and the CMS missionaries who worked in Kottayam. Ferdinand Kittel, who made the Kannada grammar and linguistic research. C.P. Brown, Telugu grammar and dictionary. Herman Gundert, again, a Basel missionary who worked in the northern part of Kerala. And Nathan Brown, Assamese grammar, and John Beams, comparative linguistic studies of Odia, Bengali, and Assamese. Thomas Jones, Khasi grammar, phonetic script. Paul Olaf Boarding, Santali grammar, phonetics, etc. Johann Philip Fabricius, Tamil English dictionary. J.H. Lorraine and F.W. Savage, Mizo grammar dictionary, and preservation of literary materials. So now we turn to next slide, please. Next slide, John. Now we turn to a couple of case studies. Let us take, for example, William Carey and Serambu mission at first. He lived from 1761 to 1834. He was the founder of English Baptist Missionary Society and a lifelong missionary to India, and he was an educator. His mission was, as I said, at Sri Rambu, Serambu, set the pattern for modern missionary work. He was called the father of Bengali prose for his grammars, dictionaries, and translations. He was appointed in 1801 to teach Bengali, Sanskrit, and Marathi at Fort William College. Carey translated the Bible into Bengali, Odia, Marathi, Hindi, Assamese, and Sanskrit. He also translated parts of it into 29 other languages and dialects. He edited with Joshua Marshman a grammar in Bhotia and prepared 6 other grammars in different languages. Next, we continue with William Carey. He published dictionaries in Bengali, Sanskrit, and Marathi. He and his fellow missionary Marshman prepared the translation of 3 volumes of the Hindu epic poem Ramayana. Having established a press at Serambu, Carey edited and published 2 works by horticulturist William Roxburgh, Hortus Bengalensis 1814 and Flora Indica 1832. And these helped very much for the study of secular topics too. And last but not least, the Serambu mission and especially William Carey contributed much to the transformation of Bengali community and, for example, abolishing wrong practices like sati, child marriage, all this we owe much to the Serambu missionaries. Now, case study 2. It is a CMS missionaries. Just like in Serambu, we had a trio at Kottayam, and they contributed much to the Malayalam language. And to begin with, there was a gentleman called Claudius Buchanan who worked in Calcutta, William Ford College, and he was very much interested in the Syriac grammar and Syriac literature. And he made a visit to Kottayam in 1806, and he knew that some of the oldest Syriac manuscripts were available in Kerala. So he approached the leadership of the Syrian Christians, and he got a copy of the full Syriac Bible, which is kept in the archives of King's College, Cambridge, even today. And he collaborated with the Syrian Christians in translating the Bible from Syriac to Malayalam. And thus came the first Malayalam Bible in 1811, which was printed in Courier Press, Mumbai. So we have to imagine the task and the efforts of these people, because this was not a paper print as we think today. It was printed on stone tablets. So there was no other way. And each page had to be inscribed on stone tablets, of course, in a mirror image. So how terrific is the job we can imagine. The 4 Gospels, all the pages in mirror images, how many stone tablets were used, and the commitment and the hard work we have to be thankful to them and to our Lord. And there is an interesting anecdote during the translation when the Syriac Malpans were translating the Bible. Then smallpox was there in Kottayam, and the missionaries were afraid of the infection of smallpox to the translators, and they advised them to take the vaccine. But as you know, the Syrian Christians are always skeptic to Western missionaries, and they were reluctant to take the vaccine. And then the government intervened, and the translators were surrounded by policemen, and they got the vaccine. This is the lighter part of the translation. When we think it today, it is a joke, but in those days, it was a severe problem. So such difficult stages were there in the translation of the Bible. Unfortunately, Claudius Buchanan died at the age of 47, and then he was succeeded by Benjamin Bailey. He and his family lived in the old seminary, which was called the Kottayam College at first. And the New Testament came into existence in 1829, and the Old Testament in 1841. In 1821, a printing press was founded at Kottayam, and many church materials, biblical and church-related, faith-related flyers and other papers, and even government gazettes were printed at this press. Now, case study 3, that is Herman Gundert, a Basel missionary who worked in the northern part of Kerala. He was a versatile genius. He contributed much to the Malayalam language and literature. The Keralolpathy, published in 1843, discusses the history and culture of Kerala. Kerala Palama, it is a history from 1498 to 1631. Malayala Rajyam, it is the history and geography of Kerala. And he collected 1,200 Malayalam proverbs and he printed them. It was the very first time that somebody took such an initiative. The Gundad Bible came into existence in 1854, and the Dictionary of the High and Colloquial Malayalam and English was published in 1872. The Malayalam grammar book of Gundad paved the way for other grammar books, and he was the author of a school curriculum too. So this is a brief narration about the contribution of the missionaries and the church to the Malayalam language. I am not well informed about other languages, but I know one thing: the Tamil Bible was the very first regional translation of the Bible, which came into existence in the 18th century itself. Thank you very much. May God bless you all.
Indian Christian Day. Yeshu Bhakti Divas. Love, serve and celebrate.